Hi, parents. Welcome to our virtual back to school night video. So, I'm very fortunate enough that I have already gotten to see some of your faces when we did our Zoom. Before we switched to virtual learning. This is a little challenging for me because I'm used to seeing faces when I teach and talk, but we will get through this together. Be be warned that I have tried this before and it went over 15 minutes and I couldn't upload it. So I'm going to talk super fast and you can sit back and relax. And if you have any questions after the fact, you can email me. Okay. Fun little comic that I always start the year with, and hopefully I will get to know your faces beyond just the stick figure drawings that I have been seeing in class. A bit about me. I grew up in Boston. Go Red Sox, go Patriots. My son's name is Brady for any football fans out there. You'll get that. I live at a private school in Hightstown called the Petty School, where my husband Greg works. So we're both educators. My oldest son is a junior at Petty. My middle child's a freshman at Hightstown, and my daughter is a seventh grader at Stewart Country Day in Princeton. And we have a very rambunctious little pup named Millie. My educational background, I attended Providence College. I actually majored in a degree in history and secondary education and taught history for a few years before going to work for two different governors in the state of Massachusetts. When we relocated to New Jersey, I wanted to get back into education, did a little substituting, and realized that my true passion was being with the younger kids. So I went back to Rutgers and got a P3 and a degree in elementary education. Also did some coursework with special education and currently take classes at Columbia with a lot of the district teachers. So I worked at St. Paul's in the kindergarten there. I started their preschool program as well, and I have been at Hawk for 6 years, but over 15 years in education. Teaching philosophy is pretty simple: to provide a safe, positive, and nurturing learning environment for your child, have them love school, and reach whatever his or her highest potential is. Kids coming into kindergarten are at a variety of different levels. We have goals and benchmarks what we like them to be able to reach, but wherever your child is, we're going to push them from that point onward so they are their most successful selves. To help us do that, we have another teacher who works with kindergarten called Mrs. McMahon-Nestor. All your kids have met her. She's already been in our classroom, done some work. Her classroom is right across from mine, and I'm sure you might hear more from her on the Flipgrids and other resources. But she's a fabulous teacher. Love Mrs. McMahon-Nestor. Classroom expectations. The kids actually came up with these and something we did the first few days of school, but to be a caring friend, raise their hand, not only be active participants in class, but active listeners to other friends, make good choices, learn, and have fun. Expectations for you. Also pretty easy, check that communication folder. I am not one for Google Classroom. We do have a Google Classroom. I know most of you have used it. Zoom links are in there. Specials information is in there, but it's not something I use on a daily basis. It's not user friendly for kindergartners. And it's basically just a place for me to put some information, and have it stored there for you. But I typically tend to email out that information as well. Seesaw is a really good thing for you to download and have on your phone, as well as a resource for the kids. I have put some different activities in there that they can do at home. Since we're a half-day program, sometimes I'll put activities and assign them in there if kids have time and they want to do them when they are not in school. Sometimes we'll do those activities in school, but that's a little bit more rare. We typically use Seesaw in the classroom to video ourselves, to take pictures of work, things we're doing, to send to you. It's a great homeschool connection app. Something I utilized before COVID and was an easy transition, during the pandemic. Make sure your kids eat breakfast before they come to school. A lot of kids come in, they're like, "When's snack?" I'm like, "You just got here." But we do a lot of work right when they walk through the door. They're there for a very short period of time and they've got to be ready to go, filled with energy. They've been really good about wearing their masks and clean hands, but again, something to reinforce daily. And the biggest thing, and my biggest message for you, is to help work on getting your children to be self-reliant learners. I know they're your babies, but they're not your babies anymore. And they can do things with a great level of independence. And that's what we are working on in school. You can read through some of the things there, but also, when they're doing their work at home, if they're interested in writing a story at home, if they're doing a homework assignment at home, remember not to overcorrect. A big thing that I can teach you is to offer guidance through questions. If a child asks, how do I spell this word? I want to write this story. How do I spell this? How do I spell that? I never tell them. That's not my job. My job is to get them to figure out how to spell the word. So say the word slowly. What sounds do you hear? Put those sounds on your paper. It might not be correct, and that's okay. But as they learn to do these things with a level of independence in their work, they will become more confident, and then they will become more successful. And that's what we want them to do. I give them different strategies each week, more and more, and we keep building upon those. But my job is not to do the work for them. My job is to get them to figure out how to use strategies to do it themselves. And I hope that we can bridge that with home and teach and foster those skills at home as well. All right. Remote learning, just in case. Hopefully we won't have any of that this year. Like having the kids in the classroom. But just in case, when they're at home, if your child needs to, log in, bathroom first, make sure everything's working, have a drink nearby, they should have their own workspace. I know that's hard for a lot of households. I know you're working from home, but just remember, if you're on a business phone call, we can hear you. So sometimes it's good to have them in a room nearby with the door open if they know that they can get you if they need you. All right. Having resources at home is always a good idea, just as a standby. Have them off in the corner. We are currently making packets to have at school with paper and things, but you should definitely have paper, pencil, markers at home in a basket or something just off to the side. And we'll work on getting additional resources to you so we're a little bit better prepared than we were the last time around. But again, hopefully not needed. Little Zoom expectations. We've already kind of gone over with the kids. So they're pretty good with that. Curriculum. We start each day with responsive classroom. We're really big on the social emotional learning piece, getting the kids to feel comfortable so they're ready to engage in what we do in the classroom. Phonics. I try to do phonics pretty much daily. we build it into all, the different aspects of curriculum, but just, a phonics unit of study, I try to do daily. I think it's extremely important for the kids to have these foundations. Right now, we are in the unit making friends with letters, and the kids are learning all these things about letters by learning each other's names. So that names are important. They start with a capital letter, that there's consonant and vowels in their names. We've sorted them by consonant and vowels. We've sorted them by letters that are tall, letters that are small, letters that fall. We've talked about sounds. We've mapped our names, and you might have seen that coming home on how to write them correctly, always starting from the top. And we will continue doing those things and then building upon that as well. Reading workshop. We are starting We Are Readers. We went around the school building reading everything we could find, library, exits, different things. So the kids all learn that they can read. McDonald's, Target, they're readers. So the kids are in book baggies. They have their own books. They have reading mats where they pile books up. We've learned that we can read pictures and words, and we are starting an emergent storybook unit, which I love, which will go in for the next basically about a month and a half, and continue on for the remainder of the year in some aspect. But those emergent books, those old favorites that you read over and over and the kids learn, and they're very content rich, they're very language rich, but great storybooks, great ideas of what a story is, what's involved with characters and setting, beginning, middle, end, all those great things. So the kids will be able to look at the pictures, remember the words, and try to make connections and find those words in text. Writing workshop, we have been doing one-page writing, thinking of a story, drawing a picture, labeling, and adding a sentence if we can. Today, we moved into books. We're doing 3-page stories already. It's just the beginning of October. They're amazing. So thinking about a story, not just as one picture, but as that beginning, middle, and end across pages. Drawing the pictures with labels to get your idea down, then going back and trying to add sentences. Some kids are starting to write some things. Some kids are dictating to me. But that's pretty much the process that we'll go throughout the year, is to think, to draw, to write. And we'll add different things as we go forward, but there's lots of different ways that we write, and we'll factor those in so the kids are engaged throughout the year. And I'm already super impressed with the writing, I have to say. I mean, I don't think that there's any kids in either class that is not at least trying a picture and labeling with a beginning sound, which I don't know if I've ever had before. So pretty amazing. Math, we do math in practice, and we have new curriculum bridges that we are doing. It's really engaging. It's not the I do it, you do it, we do it that we had when we were younger. It's really giving an opportunity for kids to explore, to engage, to get a bigger understanding. And that's pretty much what it is throughout all of our units. It's not memorizing, it's not rote learning. It's making sense of concepts and strategies and how to implement them. And those are the skills that are really going to benefit your kids throughout their lives. I read a statistic the other day that said that 65% of kids entering primary school are going to have jobs that don't even exist yet. So that's crazy. But we want to get them ready for that. Social studies, I kind of embed with our morning routines. Occasionally we'll do special activities. Science, next generation science standards, I helped write most of the kindergarten curriculum. It is awesome. So we try to get it in there. Again, discovering, asking questions, exploration. Lessons start off with an engage, where the kids are exposed to something and they have to figure out like what it is, what's happening. They explore it, they come up with explanations, and we just offer guidance through their whole process. So we've got weather and effects of the sun, pushes and pulls, and living things throughout the year. Our daily schedule, sorry, I'm talking so fast, trying to get into the 15 minutes, is it changes daily, but the kids arrive, there's work to be done, activity centers, games. It could be a variety of different things. We go into responsive classroom, morning meeting, number corner, which is part of the Bridges curriculum, which is like a calendar math kind of activity with skip counting and calendar and patterns and shapes and all sorts of different activities, number lines. So it helps reinforce all the skills that we're doing in math, which is nice. And that's a daily math activity. The phonics and handwriting I talked about, reading workshop, writing workshop. Snack is short, 10 minutes tops. We have not been able to achieve that. Some of these kids have more food than I eat in a day. So just keep in mind when you're packing snack together that it's 10-minute snack. Sometimes a 5-minute snack. They're only in school for a very, very short time. But a water bottle is great to have. They turned off all our water fountains. So having a water bottle is kind of a must. If you want to order milk and you didn't sign up, just email me if you fill out the Google form, because I know a couple people added that they wanted milk, but I don't check that every day. So just send me an email if you want to add your child to the free milk that we have this year. Math Center, Science STEM, specials, and you can see how much we do these activities in a week. Kind of try to rotate. Specials, again, is posted in Google Classroom. I also sent a hard copy in our folders. Submitting assignments, mostly communication folder. It's mostly the math. Other things will be given as needed. If kids are struggling in an area, I might send home some extra work, but you can always go onto ClassLink. It's our one-stop shop for resources, Epic, Res Kids. There's all sorts of different, all the kids are in Epic, which is a great reading resource. And maybe I'll do a Zoom with you to show you different ways the kids can utilize it the best way to help them with their reading growth. Classroom supplies, we've been pretty good. Family picture, glue sticks, washable markers. If you didn't send in markers, please, 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 please send in markers, because I bought markers for the whole class, but as they go, I want to be able to replace them, and I don't want to buy more personally. If people want to donate paper towels, I will not say no to paper towels. The paper towels at school are just like actual paper and more push water and stuff around than absorb. If you would like to donate any spray bleach like Clorox, I have a bottle, probably could use 2 more. Lysol, I have a can. They are out now. I have seen them. I've grabbed a can, but maybe 1 or 2 more cans so I can spray materials after kids use them. Just email me if you want to donate. And then once I get the materials, I'll send out in the newsletter, just letting everyone know that I have all I need. Communication, mostly virtual, email, Seesaw. Don't look at Google Classroom too much. Communication folder. I will send out information about a classroom directory. If you want to participate, please fill that out. Conferences have been a little crazy. AM class is going well. Please, please, please sign up. This is your time. It's half day. I'm there. Any questions, anything you want me to know, goals for the year, all that stuff. It's our time to meet. PM classes have been a struggle in Genesis. Genesis is not recognizing the PM class for conferences. So I will have to reach out to you individually. I've already done that with a few parents, but please feel free to email me with any preferences that you have on days and times, and I will plug you into what we have available. volunteers. I will also send something out about room parents and mystery readers. We'd love to have you. And we could do it like on a Zoom. And we had Zoom mystery readers last year, and the parents dressed up in costumes. So, no pressure. But a mystery reader is just, they give some ideas, some clues. I give them to the class. The class tries to figure out who the mystery reader is going to be, and then they just read the class a book. But it's a really fun way to do a read aloud. Homework, 10 to 15 minutes of reading a night right now, at least a few times a week. We will build to about 20, 30 minutes by the end of the year. And then the math work I send home, but please don't do it all in one night. It's meant to be spaced out, one, so the kids remain focused, but also just to help reinforce skills. And any questions that you may have, please feel free to email me or call the school. I do not check my email much when I am with the kids during the day. Any changes in schedule, please, please, please call the school because I might not see it. So, with that said, hopefully I didn't talk too fast. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video for our back to school night. I sincerely appreciate your partnership and look forward to a fun and productive school year. I know it's not as normal as we wanted, but we're moving in that direction. And I just want you to be rest assured that I am here to support you and your child in any way that I can. I know this is a scary time and we are in this together. So thank you so much for your time again, and have a wonderful evening.